Guys, we are still here in Prescott, sorry. I don't really get an opportunity. Think about this. Anytime I see you, like we're at Overland Expo West and we're like back to back in booths.
Hectic.
And it's
hectic.
This thing's all flexed out in the background. And today I kind of want to go through it and kind of get ideas for maybe, another JL. I've had a couple, but also kind of get into your mind and see kind of your thought process, what works, what doesn't, what you love, if there's any improvements, but also, you're a man who needs no introduction, but I'll let you.
I'm Jesse. I'm the owner of Summit 4x4 Company here in Prescott, Arizona. And behind me, I've got our 2018 shop Jeep. I've got a 4.5-inch lift kit on this thing.
Okay.
Typically, I'm running Fox 3.0 internal bypass on these. Those are out for rebuild right now, so I'm running a set of RSO shocks right now. They're company out of the valley. Great middle of the pack shock. They're allowing me to try out where I'm getting those things rebuilt.
What's the size on those? Are those 3.0s also?
No, these are 2.5s.
2.5s, okay.
Yep, they're 2.5. So in my opinion, they're very equivalent to like a Falcon shock, maybe like just again, your middle of the pack shock.
Gotcha.
Really, really good option, very budget friendly, and overall been impressed with them while I've had them on the rig. I've got Superduty axles, so 05 and up, Superduty Dana 60 up here. I've got PSC Hydro Assist. I've got RPM, their Superduty steering kit on it, the Weldon R-Tech high steer kit.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Of course, it's full belly pan underneath there from R-Tech as well. And I've got the Revolution gear, it's 538s in there. And then we've got 42-inch tall Mickeys on this thing.
Yes.
Fully armored up with some moto built. So we've got their frame chop front bumper. We've got their high clearance fender flares, which definitely help and give me some extra room to be able to tuck these big old meats up in here. Full sliders, of course, outfitted with KC highlights front and rear. Love KC highlights, man, in their products, and can't go wrong with the Warn winch and the Ultra Hook.
Very cool. So you're saying that that's pretty minimal, right? Lift 4 inches, 4.5.
Yeah.
For a 42 with this setup, you're totally good to go.
Absolutely.
You don't need anything more than that, right?
Absolutely.
I think that's like a common misconception too. Just in suspension alone, guys are like, man, that thing must be huge. And I think we like a little bit more lower center of gravity too, right?
Absolutely, especially rock crawling like that, right? The lower that you can keep it. And, I had a 3.5-inch on this, or excuse me, a 4.5-inch on this. And, we were hitting up in here. And so it's all about bump stops, right? Making sure that you got the bumps properly. Otherwise, you really start going into your fenders and your body and so on.
Yeah. What made you go with Super Duties instead of like something crate out of the box?
You know what, for me, I wanted to give it a shot, right? I've not run the Super Duty axles. They'll call them like a junkyard swap, that type of thing. And these things have been great. They really have been. But let me tell you, by the time you upgrade your axle shafts, you put your lockers in them, you do everything here, you're not far off, unless you're doing this at home. You're not super far off from doing a set of the UD60s or doing a set of Currys or Dynatracks, that type of thing. Overall, been super happy with them. But if I could go back, I'd be honest, I'd throw a crate set underneath this. I really would.
And how about steering? I see you have the PSC there. Does this have like an extra pump in it? Like, how does that work with the electronic steering of the JLs?
So it completely eliminates the electronic steering on it. And then what it does is it gives you a different box. It gives you a different pump. You've got a reservoir, a cooler, and then the RAM on this. So I've wheeled stock configurations on JKs and JLs with 35s, 37s, and you just get bound up. You can't turn, right? So being able to have the Hydro Assist on here, either the rig's moving or the object's moving. One of the two.
Is it the 3.6, the factory?
It's still the factory 3.6. I've got about 42,000 miles on it, and like a lot of JL owners, I've already rebuilt the top end. New camshafts, lifters, rockers.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. Yep. We'll see in the future. I've been talking with Jeff Garland with Bruiser Conversions about doing an LS swap in this. So Jeff, if you see this, feel free to ship an extra one my way. But no, you know what? Because it's geared so low, and really this thing's, although I still daily it around town, it's not something that I'm gonna hop in and drive across the country in, right? I mean, these tires are freaking $800 a pop. So she's really kind of more into a trailer queen at this point. And so the 3.6 on the trail, totally fine. Yep.
Tell me about your rock sliders over here and what you got for armor.
So again, these are all your moto built, right? They fully decked out and sponsored the rig here. You can step on these, but at the same time, they're really a tool. You can see underneath here, I use this. There's certain times where you need to come up against an object and legitimately pivot the entire rig, and you've got to have something that is just beefy. And in my opinion, man, Moto Built makes some of the best sliders and products on the market, man. Absolutely love them.
So these are these 20s?
They are 20s. So I originally had the Nittos when they first came out as 42s, and you could only get them in a 20.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I ended up getting these, and then, as you know, beadlocks aren't cheap.
No,
right?
at all.
And I don't mind, you know, because it's a 42-inch tall tire, in my opinion, it doesn't have kind of that awkward look that normally a 20 would give some rigs without a lot of side profile. So
I was going to say too, but I mean, that was like a ratio thing before the 17s came out. I mean, it's still, isn't it something like, I forgot what it was, like 17s and 37s or something like that? Like the ratio of the tire to the 20s, like don't get scared from running the 20-inch is my point.
Yeah.
Because if you're running 42s, you still have that ton of meat on.
Absolutely. And for me, I've aired these things down into low single digits, and the tires will actually roll over on top of each other.
Yeah.
So no issues. There's still plenty of sidewall flex that you get out of these things. So as we come around the back here, again, I've got the high clearance Moto-Built bumper. Instead of the KC lights I use down here in the bumper just for backup lights. R-Tech spare tire delete.
Very cool.
I don't know very many people wanting to run a 42 as a spare on the back, right? So we got rid of that. And then I've got the KC chase light bar up here.
Very cool.
Which is beautiful. As you know, Mike, being in dusty situations, ensuring the person behind you knows where you're at. And let me tell you, this thing cuts through the dust amazingly well. So
such a valid point. I think people don't realize that too. Like the purpose of your lights are to see, but also to be seen, right?
100%.
And then when we're in like big groups, or even just here in the valley or down in the valley, but up here, like the dust is crazy sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't seen these yet. These flush-mounted taillights. What are these?
Okay, those are Oracle flush-mounted taillights. They're LED. One of the first thing I did when I got this JL, we went out wheeling. I think we were out at Sheep's Bridge down in there, and there's a trail. I think it's called like Red Rocks or something. And again, tight little narrow canyons. And as those of you that own JLs and JTs, you know, they stick out like Dumbo ears, man. And that was the first thing. I just ripped one right off, and I'm like, well, I don't want to do that again. Right. So I've had these on here. They've been great. Actually, the reverse lights on these things are super bright as well. They've got these just standard kind of red, and then they've got a smoked option as well on them. That's pretty cool. So
cool departure angle, man. No like overhang or anything.
Yeah, and that's the name of the game, man, is clearance, right? These things are tough. It takes a beat, and you can see underneath there, man, there's all sorts of impacts I've taken that I would have bet money that I would have dented or damaged that bumper, and nope, she's still going strong, man. And these things here, they're not powder coated. I've got Steel It, and so about every, I don't know, I'd say every 6 months, 8 months, I'll go through and just give it a fresh new coat on here, and they look brand new, because it's really hard to touch up powder coat, right?
Yeah.
And so,
and you can weld on Steel It, right?
Absolutely.
That's such a cool product.
It's a weldable paint, man.
I haven't got a chance to play with it yet. Very cool, dude.
Yeah. All right, so let me show you what we've got back here. Overall, the inside's pretty stock and dirty, right? This is raw, okay, guys? This is what the Jeep looks. I didn't pre-clean it. I still got water bottles in here, but I keep a lot of recovery items in here. Super important. I got a Boxo toolkit. I've got a lot of, like I said, recovery gear as far as soft shackles, bow shackles, static ropes, kinetic ropes. I've got first aid kits, and then of course I've got my power tank, right, for airing up, air down with some JT Brooks. I actually power tank. They just sent me a set of their monster valves that I'm going to put on this thing.
Oh, very cool.
I'm super excited for that, man. As far as being able to air down quickly on a set of 42s, and then air up, in my opinion, power tank's the only way to go.
Yeah.
So, and then of course fire extinguishers and so on. Super important to have, just because you never know, right? I keep spare parts in here, different times, fluids, zip ties, baling wire, extra nuts and bolts. Nothing real fancy in the back. Up here in the front, though, a couple things I did. I'm gonna hop in here real quick. Cool. Just wanted to point out is this company Tackform, okay? It's new to me. I found them online, talked with the owner. You guys have had a lot of different phone mounts and tablet mounts, even as far as handheld mounts as well. These Tackform mounts are extremely sturdy, probably the least amount of vibration when I've off-roaded with any mounts that I've ever owned. Not just for Jeeps though, man, you can get them for Ram trucks, you can get them for motorcycles, you can get them for just different construction truck options and so on. So check them out if you get a chance. And then Switch Pro, a light controller for me, super important. I've got my compressor hooked up to it, and then I've got my front and rear lockers. I've got my rock lights. I've got my A-pillar lights. I've got them set up to where I can pulse them if I need to by a couple taps. My reverse lights, super handy in this location right here as well.
Jesse, I noticed you also have a light up here on the What is this, the A-pillar?
It is. These lights allow me to be able to be driving down the road and look out my window.
Yeah.
Literally, I've actually stood behind my rig and this light will light me up just at the angle that it's at. Yeah, so EGR USA sells these and they're just cowl replacements. So they come painted already, painted to match your vehicle. They've got them for JKs and JLs, possibly even some other models. I'm not quite sure, but definitely recommend them. And then of course the KC lights, man.
Yeah,
you can't go wrong with KC.
You really can't.
Not at all. So these A-pillar, the FE4s on there are amazing, and then the Gravity Pro 6 I've got up there as well.
Cool. So would you consider this done, or is there anything else that you're trying to...
It is never done. Right? It is never done. So one of the things with these Super Duty axles, a lot of guys put a 14 bolt back in there just because the differential's centered, right? When you've got the Sterlings back there, they're offset. So the issue that I've got right now is clearance with the gas tank. We've done a little bit of modification back there, but RPM steering and suspension is going to go ahead and help me get a relocation gas tank in the back. So it'll go underneath the back, then I can recenter that axle and have some clearance. So we've got that. And then, I don't know, man. I think I want to maybe do some more lights up here. I'm looking at doing maybe another KC, like a 10-inch light bar up here. And I don't know, you're never done.
You really aren't. You really aren't.
Done. I'd love to do a cage in here. A full cage from Moto built. And I'd love to do a B-pillar chop on it. And
half doors.
I actually do have a set of half doors. I ordered a set, man. Yeah, they're Mopar factory half doors.
Oh, really?
Had them painted to match. So.
Hell yeah. Again, thanks, man. I appreciate you. It's been fun visiting you guys up here, up north. You guys are like an hour and a half away from me.
Yeah, no.
Why don't you tell the viewers where they can find you online and basically where you're at here? You have 2 locations, right?
We do, yeah. So we're at our headquarters location in Prescott, you guys, 420 Miller Valley Road in Prescott. We've got a smaller shop out in Prescott Valley at 6701 East 1st Street. Of course, all your social channels as well. And then summit4x4company.com.
Cool, man. Thank you. Again, guys, look it up. These guys we have known for a long time. Actually, HQ used to be up here in Prescott, if you don't know that. And we'll catch you on the next one.